right, guys, we are back in studio with CICI Unleashed, the podcast. Happy New Year. And today, do I have a guest for you? I'm so excited to introduce my favorite man in the world, the one, the only, Mr. Luciano, the bully Spadero. Everybody say hi. Hi, Luch. Luch is ready. Isn't he so cute? All right, we'll take those off. I won't bother him. Just so you guys can get the full aesthetic of my man, Luch. He's so happy to be here, as you can see. He's literally, I'm not even kidding, he's got his eyes glued on the door right now. He is just ready. I want to get him a hoodie. It's going to say security on it, I swear. But so this is my 2-year-old micro American bulldog, Luciano, and I've had him for 1.5 years now. And he is my best friend, and I love him. And I had to bring him a part of my podcast because he does everything with me. So I figured, let me introduce to you my BFF. This is my man, and he's trying to get on the table. So, all right, Luch. More about him in a little bit. We'll be right back. Cut. How cute is Luch?
Oh my God, that is a cute dog.
Ben, when I told Ben that I was bringing Luch and that I want him to be a part of CICI Unleashed, hence CICI Unleashed, little pun there for you.
Ah, I like it.
See what I did there? So when I told Ben, I was like, Benny, is it okay for me to bring Luciano on the podcast and like have him here with me when we like record? And he's like, please.
I'm so happy I got to meet him. The dog is the sweetest dog, but looks also like he'll take your money if you do him wrong. Like,
honestly, that is half the reason why I wanted him specifically and this breed.
I was gonna say it's a very I haven't really seen much. I've never actually seen a dog like Luciano. So how did you get him?
Yeah, so I used to have a French bulldog, and his name was Sachi. And
love French bulldogs.
Yes, they're crazy. They're so funny. And so I had a French bulldog. His name was Sachi, after Gianni Versace. So his name was Sachi Gianni Spadero, naturally. And he unfortunately tragically passed suddenly from a very, very, very common vertebrae disc disorder. It's called IVDD. So it was something I didn't know about, and I was rapidly informed about. And so it's called IVDD, intervertebral disc disorder. And I think the percentage of Frenchies that get it is like 85 or 90%. Like, it was something outrageous. And I was so upset because I was like, why did nobody ever tell me this? Why have I never heard of this? Why did I not know about this? So he was 3.5 when he passed. And
oh my God.
Yeah. It was so sad. But Sachi, he lives on. He has a whole shrine in my house. And so Luciano, his middle name is Gianni, named after Sachi. So unfortunately he passed, and I was unwell for an entire week. I literally just slept. I just slept an entire week because I just didn't want to function. And it was awful. And everybody knew CC and Sach, like that was my boy. He had heterochromia, which means one blue eye, basically 2 different color eyes. Yeah. And so he had one blue eye, and I knew I wanted a blue Merle Frenchie with heterochromia, because in Greek, heterochromia means, in Latin, it means touched by the gods, kissed by the gods, sent by the gods. Like, it's something special. So when I saw him, he was it. I was like, that's the one, done. And ironically, I actually got him on Super Bowl Sunday during COVID. It was like, I think it was 2020. Super Bowl Sunday, he was delivered. And oh
my gosh.
How he got his name was because on Super Bowl, I am either out doing something or I want to be home comfortable. Like, I want to be comfortable. And so it was COVID, so nobody could go out and do anything. And we ended up all just being in this like man cave of one of our friends, and it was at like a warehouse, and we had the screens and everything. There was like poker tables and all this stuff, and that was like our hangout spot. And so what I did, I wanted to wear my robe because it was just all of our friends, so I didn't care. So I'm always in a robe. I'm like the queen of robes. I love wearing a robe when I'm at home. And so I have like multiple robes. I steal robes from hotels if they're good ones. Yeah. You never actually steal them because you always get charged for it. But anyway, so I have my Versace robe, and that was all I had to like put him in. So I took my robe, and so I'm trying to think of what I want to name him. And so Versace, call him Sachi Gumbats. That's what I named Sach. That's where his name came from. So when he passed, it was tragic, and I was distraught. And I knew that I could never get another French bulldog, personally. I love them, but I personally can't replace Sachi. Like, it just was, I can't look at them the same way. And I have love for them, love them, but I just personally, I can't have another one.
It was really hard. Yeah, for sure.
So I've wanted a Cane Corso. However, they're humongous. And my living situation, I'm in, a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. It's just not practical for a Cane Corso. So I've always loved American bulldogs. They look somewhat similar to Cane Corso. And Pit Bull, they look very similar, but they're actually very different. But they have different sizes of American bullies. And there's double XL, XL, large, then there's like medium, regular, and then there's like pocket and micro and mini. Like there's just all these different versions.
I didn't know there was so many. I mean, I love bulldogs. Bulldogs are one of my favorite types of dogs.
So funny.
And they're so when they're young and they got the scrunches and the wrinkles but I had no idea. Like when I saw your dog, I was like, this is like the smallest badass dog I've ever seen in my life.
I know. He's so I love anything when you can, by first look and first judgment, you think whatever preconceived notion that you already have in your head, whatever prejudgments, because that's how I live my life every day, right? People look at me and they think something immediately because I got blonde hair and, all my aesthetic, my whole look and everything. So I love when you can look at a dog or a person or anything and think one way about it, and then they show you the complete opposite. So I saw myself in Looch very much, and the first time I met him, he was just like this little baby hippopotamus. Like, he was so cute, and I knew he was the one. However, I had already made arrangements to fly out to California to go meet with other breeders and meet other puppies. And I knew I didn't want a super young puppy. I knew I wanted a little bit older, maybe like 5-6 months, just because I just couldn't. I've already been through the puppy stage, and I work out of my place, and it just would have been a little too much to have puppy right away, just like that. So I fly out to California because my brother lives out there, and I meet with because they're more popular out in California, like low riders is what they call them and everything. So there's a lot of breeders out there, and the other puppies, they just didn't do it for me. And so when I was messaging the breeder here in Florida, and I let him know, and we became friends. He's really cool. Shout out NMG Bullies. And so I wanted him. He was the one. I let him know. I was like, listen, I'm out here. I know, like, please just like keep in mind, I'm going to keep in touch. Like, I got to go out. I already made commitments. I have to go, but I think he's it. So I come back and he was the one. And ironically, it was actually very funny. I was going to name him. I think it's the funniest thing to name a dog Carl. I think that is the funniest dog name in the world because it's not a dog name. So his album still in my phone is Carl, because I actually did really want to name him Carl. But Luciano, Lucky Luciano, I love the name Luciano. I wanted to name my firstborn son Luciano. I was like, why wait for for a child, I might as well name my fur baby Luciano because I just love that name and call him Looch. And it's just so fitting. And he's just my everything.
I like the Looch. I mean, Carl would have been a funny because then it's like...
Because imagine like, oh, what's your dog's name? Carl.
And they're like, wow, hey, Carl. Yeah, that was
It's
funny.
just so funny.
But Luciano, I mean, if it's you, I mean, Luciano, he's your boy. Like, you know, I love that. That's awesome. Good story. Good story.
So that's my Luch story. Luciano, we love him. Cheers to Luch. Salute.
Cheers to Luch. Cheers. Oh, man.
Now, speaking of California and flying out there and all that jazz.
Oh, my goodness. Oh.
Okay, so like I said, my brother lives out in California, lives out in San Diego, right? And I've got my nieces, my nephew, and my parents, obviously, are their grandparents. And so they've had a trip planned for a while now to go and visit. And right now, there are all of LA County and the Pacific Palisades and everything that's been going on with these fires. San Diego is considered Southern California, so is LA and LA County. And this is all happening in that vicinity in LA. However, there's 0% containment still to this day. And it's Friday right now as we're recording this. It's Friday. And there's 0% containment. And my parents just flew out there yesterday. And I'm like screaming at them. I'm like, California's burning to a crisp. And you guys are just volunteering yourselves to go fly out there. Like, why can't we have everybody fly here? Like, come to Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all.
And
come here,
they're
please.
going to where everyone is like fleeing right now. and like another thing, I mean, it's crazy that you just said nothing is contained. And like here, you know, I'm here in Florida. Yeah, I don't know as much. I know things are dry in California, but I mean, it's 2025. Like, I would think, like, at least drones, something to...
Listen, I was able to go to Vegas and watch Michael Jackson in concert, Cirque du Soleil. Tupac and Amy Winehouse can come back in hologram form. We can watch them back in life in real time, right? We've got drones floating around the world doing all kinds of crazy shit. We've got robots that are doing the craziest thing. We've got Cybertrucks and this and that. You're telling me that we can't put out some fires while people's lives are just going to dust? And nobody's doing like these poor firemen and firewomen, like what is going on?
It's making, I don't know.
There's no water?
And there's no water?
What do you mean there's no fucking water?
Isn't there a sea right next door?
It's just, I can't. I understand conspiracies and all this, whatever, and like, oh, like, that's shit, that's nonsense. Like, you're reaching, like, you know, everybody be reaching.
Yeah.
Like, this ain't a reach. Like, I'm all about common sense. Common sense.
And there's things coming out, like, people started this fire, but then I saw an aerial view and all three of the spots started at the same. There's things that, like, I'm like, what's going on?
There's no fucking way.
Then I saw a post that 2028, the new California, and it was like,
what?
Yeah, it was like and like that's the whole thing with the whole conspiracy stuff. Like, it's all I can say is people out in California, you know, our prayers, hearts go out to you. Just please, you know, be safe. I know there's a lot of people out there giving homes and stuff. I know the animals for shelters and stuff. That's what I've been thinking about too, like all those animals.
If I even think about it, I'm done.
All right.
I will literally...
Next topic.
I will be unwell. But it's so true. Everyone is very tone deaf, I think, also. And I find myself not being able to post things and like... I don't understand the people that can just post and like I understand like distraction and like the double-edged sword, you know, I get it, but you know, myself, right? Okay, I'll give you another example with the New Orleans tragedy that takes place, right?
Yeah.
Just happened last week too. This new year has been already on a roll. It's been 5 minutes. It's been 5 fucking minutes, and we're on a fucking roll. Okay, so the guy who rolls through New Orleans and Bourbon Street, right? Like. And now that's all just nobody's talking about that because now we've got these chaotic fires. That's the full focus. But that still happened. That was a thing. And like where's the progress on that also? However, so that takes place in New Orleans, and there was one of the bowl games was taking place that next day. And so the Sugar Bowl with Notre Dame and Georgia had to be delayed, and I'm so happy that they did, because I was uncomfortable. Even like, what do you mean? Like, it's just weird to me. And so it was at least delayed. But so that game, even though everybody knows I am a sports bettor, that's what I do, that's, my thing, I literally didn't feel right talking about, posting, or even placing a bet on that game. I didn't touch it. I watched it, but I couldn't, in good conscience, talk about it, post about it, place a bet. It didn't feel right, and I didn't do it. So I know that might be weird to some people, but it just was like an internal, like, moral thing.
I don't think that's weird. I think it also shows like that you're an actual like real human. You have care. You actually are like, wait a second, maybe I don't need to put a real winner out tonight. I just need to let things be at the and that makes you different. Like, that should show. That. But at the same time, people. Oh, you should have bought the bet out.
Right. I can't, it's not like, me. No, sorry, I'm good. Like, I don't feel right about it. It just doesn't feel right. Like, did it affect me directly? No. Did I know anybody that? No. Does that matter to me? No. Period. Like,
exactly.
I don't feel right about it. It felt gross. I didn't want to touch it. I didn't want to do it. I watched it, and that's it. And in the comforts of my own home, and that was it. I'm
really glad that they postponed it though. Like, same. I'm very happy that like it was something.
So how could you? Like,
if crazy. They would have gotten so much heat if they played. Like, come on, guys, have some. Yeah, exactly.
Have some decorum.
Exactly.
So with Notre Dame beating Georgia at the Sugar Bowl in Louisiana, that perpetuated the Orange Bowl, which was actually last night, Thursday, in Miami against Penn State. So that game, I've been to one Orange Bowl before. It was actually really fun. I remember FSU was playing. It was years ago, but it was a really fun time. I completely forgot that it was here in Florida. And it was at the Hard Rock, like down the street. I totally should have went. However, I did go to my favorite place to watch the games, which is Hijinks. Shout out to Hijinks. And so I was next door because God knows I love to watch my football, eat my food, and place my bets. So every time I am watching the game, I like to either be home and comfortable, doing my thing, screaming at the TV, or I will be out at my local spot or somewhere else at someone else's house maybe and ordering food and eating while I'm there. But I also like to live bet, so I'll play some live action.
Did you place any bets on that Orange Bowl?
I did, and they all hit. I'm so excited. So my teaser hit. I had Notre Dame, Penn State. I had +6, +8. I had over 38. So it was a 3-team teaser. And then I also separately, I just took Notre Dame to win, took them by the spread. Took them money line, took them to win. That hit, obviously, so I'm very excited. And I know that this is going to air on Tuesday. So this game will have already have happened, but we have the Texas game, Ohio State, which I'm very much looking forward to watching. And yeah, we've got some good games happening right now. And we've got some playoffs coming as well, which I'm very excited about. That's all this weekend, and I can't wait to watch those. I'll probably be stuffing my face, eating my favorites, and watching the games. Speaking of favorites.
I was going to say, do you have a favorite, like, or is it just all types of food while you're watching it? Is there a favorite that you have that you're like, I need to have wings when I'm watching a game? Or is it always like, honestly, I like to try new things while you're watching games?
It's definitely a combination. Anytime there's pretzels with beer cheese or any kind of cheese, nacho cheese, all the cheese, smother it in cheese. Anything smothered in cheese. French fries with cheese, but anytime there's like soft pretzels with cheese, like that's
a game changer. A game changer.
Favorite. And very judgmental. They got to be good. That's one of my go-tos for sure, a staple. Another one is definitely wings. Love wings. There's a special sauce that I get at Hijinks called CICI sauce. It's like a version of Chick-fil-A sauce mixed with a little spice. It's very good. Then we've got anything with vodka sauce, pretty much, is also my favorite. So, with that being said, Benjamin, I did come with gifts today.
Oh, what?
Yes.
What are we talking? What kind of gifts we got today?
The kind that come with vodka sauce on the side for dipping, honey. I got us my absolute favorite. I order this once a week from V&S, Italian Deli. Shout out to V&S. Sponsor me, please. I order for you guys all the time. And I think they know it's me at this point because I literally only order the same thing and I ask for the same way and it's not on the menu. It's an off-menu request. So I feel like they know it's who it is. They're like, oh, CiCi's back. CiCi's ordering again. So I order the vodka parm. Well, I order the chicken parm hero with the seeded Italian bread, which is phenomenal. Literally tastes like it's from back home in New York. But I get it with vodka sauce, right? So I get it. It's got melted mozzarella, chicken cutlet, their vodka sauce, homemade vodka sauce that they make. And then you can't stop there because to take it to the next level, this shit right here. You gotta have the extra sauce for dipping. It is unbelievable, and I talk about it all the time. I tell everybody about it. I make everybody try it. So I couldn't come here and flap my gums around about it without bringing you some. So you and I, right now, we're gonna have some V&S vodka parm with extra for dipping. So get ready, people. We got some ASMR. Ready? I'm gonna open up the tin foil. Wait for it.
Oh, wow. I'm so excited right now.
Also, this has been torture because I've been getting like whiffs of it this entire time. And it's been so good smelling in general.
Oh my God.
Are you ready for this?
Oh my
Look at
God.
This. Look at it. Wait for it. Oh! So this is the kind of shit that gets me excited. This is, honey.
Oh, look at that. The seeds on that bread. Oh.
I'm a sucker for sesame seeds. But this bread is what makes it just, because you can go to any one of these, like a pub sub, right? Like everybody talks about, oh, I love my pub sub, like public subs, right? Yeah, they're fine and all. They're good. Like the bread ain't bad, but it ain't like this. It's not like home. Real Italian bread, real seeded Italian bread that just, you can't compare. Okay, we gotta get, look at this.
Yeah, here, wait, yeah. Hold it up, because I got a close up for you.
Oh,
look at this.
Look at it.
Oh yeah.
Do you see that? Look at that mozzarella. I asked them to smother it.
Goodness.
How excited are you right now?
I'm drooling. I'm
so excited.
I'm salivating right now.
As you should. Okay.
Take a bite. Take a bite.
It's going down. You ready? Oof. Oof. Wait. I would dip this. However, we're already pretty fucking saturated right now.
There it is. V&S. That's I will say, whenever I have actually been there a couple of times, and every single time, I'm telling you, every time it's amazing. There's not been a time that I've gone there and been like, oh man, I guess I probably shouldn't. They're broccoli rabe. They're
so good.
Come on. All right, I'm coming.
Get the fuck over here. Come on. Everybody eats. We gotta get Benny Boy on the vodka parm game. Wait, you need extra for dipping. Come here. We weren't done yet. And here's a napkin. Hold on. Mama CiCi coming in with the napkin. Get it. Extra for dipping. There you go. Take that.
Thank you.
There you go.
Oh my goodness.
When I dip, you dip. We dip. So this is everything.
So
Nothing. Looch and this and sports. Like best day ever. That's all I need. So.
Oh, sign me up. Oh, they got to put this on the menu, CiCi.
Call it the CiCi special.
Oh, call it the CiCi special.
Is that not amazing? It's and it's good cold. Like, don't get me wrong. It comes fresh and hot. and it's so good. But we've been sitting here flapping for a minute, so it's warm. But even I actually, like, I eat this over the course of a couple, like, hours, I feel like. And so what I do, it's literally, I eat it happily while it's cold. It's still just as good. And that's not normal, I feel like. Most things, if they're not, like, hot and fresh, it's not good. But for me, I love it when it's hot, when it's fresh, and when it's cold. I love it. Like, I'll eat this shit for breakfast.
I was going to say, that vodka sauce, you can tell is so homemade.
Legit.
And that like the bread in the vodka sauce, like that right there, like that's what I remember when my mom or even my grandma would make sauce. My thing is, I would always get my bread, my good Italian bread, and I'd come by and be like, "Oh, you guys need me to taste the sauce?" You know, I'd dip my bread in there, and that was it. So, thank you so much. That's delicious.
Everybody eats.
Ooh. Very good.
Always. Very good. So good. So yeah, I order this once a week. It's my favorite.
They've been have they been there for? They've been there for a pretty long time, right? They've been doing their. And
they're originally from New York. They're from Brooklyn.
Oh,
I believe Brooklyn. But they what I've been told is that they ship the bread in from New York, and when they're out, they're out.
Yep.
And that's what makes it so good, because the unfortunate thing that I find down here is so many people try to open up places that are from New York originally, and just like New York, and there's all these different places, right? And it's like they bring it down here, and they don't have the means or anything to make it actually taste exactly like home. It's never the same. It's never the same. And that's what drives me crazy. It's like Brooklyn water bagel, like, they're good, but like it's not it yet. Like, and I've actually found my favorite bagel place, literally just found it the other day. My sister put me on. It's down in like Fort Lauderdale, Pompano, something like that. But they're from New York. I know. And I'm like, all right, yeah, we'll see how good it is. You know, doing my typical. My sister brought me a sesame bagel from them. And now my typical bagel order, depending on my mood, but if I'm ordering a sesame bagel, it's either toasted, smothered in butter. Like, I want it smothered in butter. I type, or I call and I say, or if I'm in front of the counter, smothered. That is the word I use, so that they fully comprehend how much butter I really mean. Like, if that brown paper bag is not dripping, I don't want it. Period. So my sister, she didn't want to order because I was seeing her later on. So she's like, you got to try this place. She brings me the bagel, and it's just the bagel by itself. I raw dogged this bagel. I didn't toast it. I didn't cut it. I opened the bag. I smelled it. I was like, this is a real bagel. I think this might be the thing. This might be the real thing. And I smell it. I get so excited. I just take a fucking bite out of it. It's just uncut bagel. And I ate the whole thing without anything. No butter, no cream cheese, no toasted, no nothing. I raw dogged it. If you can raw dog a bagel, you got yourself a fucking bagel. So shout out to Goldberg's, because, oh my God, do you have bagels? And I've been telling everybody about my Uber driver. I told my Uber driver about it. I sent him the link. I'm like, you got to try Goldberg's. I actually found a real bagel. I'm so excited. So Goldberg's, love you guys. Sponsor me. Because I'm obsessed. It's actually, finally, I have found a real bagel in South Florida. True. Because I have bagels. I have Italian bread. I've got everything in my freezer. I have L&B Spumoni Gardens, ziplocked and frozen fresh in my freezer that I come from home with, or my parents overnight and deliver to me, whatever it may be. And I have it frozen fresh so that I can still, like, enjoy the food of back home, because it's just not the same when you get here.
I couldn't agree more. I will be going to that bagel spot, because I'm a sucker for bagels. Like, Brooklyn water bagels doesn't do it for me. I mean,
it's like Einstein. It's like
for me. I love going to New York or even Jersey. I think Jersey has some pretty good bagels too. And I get the bagel for some reason up there. They just make them better. I haven't found a place down here yet, so I will be going to that store.
Goldberg's. It's unbelievable. Like, so good. So next time, maybe I bring some Goldbergs for us.
Ooh.
Stay tuned. All right, guys. That is it for us tonight. I appreciate you tuning in. And next time, I'm going to have another special guest with me. So stay tuned. Someone you may recognize as well. Follow, like, comment, review, leave a review, subscribe, do all the things. And I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Until then, salute, cheers, ciao, love you, bye.